Hello, hi, hey, it's your good friend J. Scott Jewell. I'm back for another episode of Factorio. Uh, Looks like we ran out of research in the labs. Oh, no, it's still in there. We just haven't specified anything new to be researching. So, let's drop all of that in there. Oh, right, because we had to decide. Automation, though. Oh, just finished it. Actually, I was going to say automation is pretty important. Let's get, I don't know, steel? I do like getting steel. What's the one that unlocks fancy bullets? I want fancy bullets, is the thing. Hopefully, I don't already have fancy bullets. I don't know. I'll get steel. Steel is good. Get a steel axe, and that'll help with cutting down trees, which is one of the most tiresome tasks in the entire game. Um, so we've got power, we've got coal being collected. There we go. And we've got our perimeter explored. We've got some turrets and we've got some bullets. Feel like we're pretty good. So I guess what I want to set up next is some kind of smelting operation, which will involve a lot of tree cutting. Unfortunately. This is one of the things I like doing the least in Factorio, which is a shame because it's also the thing that you can't automate in any way. Like, even when you have robots, there aren't any robots that you can tell your robots to chop down trees in an area, but they can't just kind of seek out trees and take them down for you in a way that, you can just tell them, eliminate trees, and they'll rove around and do it. They have to be within the coverage area of... we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, I guess, but the moral of the story is you can't do it fully automatically. Like, if I were to run out of wood, there's no way for robots to detect that I'm out of wood and go find more or something like that. And there's no way to send them out to collect trees from an area without physically visiting that area yourself. So, the point is somewhat moot. Oh, cool. Just ran out of axe, but rather than build another iron axe and use it to continue chopping, I will wait for steel processing to finish. It will finish, won't it? No. Okay. So gotta make some more science. And actually, while the science is... No, I won't do it that way. I will build a couple of assembly machines so that we can get the science done automatically in that fashion. Okay, so we can drop down one machine to make, see, iron... Yeah, so we need iron gears and just copper plate. So we're going to need iron gear wheels. And then we can have the iron gear wheels feed into a factory that makes... what do you call it? Oh, have it feed directly into a factory making science packs. And then the neat thing that we'll be able to do, if we put down a chest, so we can put the chest down here. We need to make a couple of inserters for which we need more iron. That should be plenty. Ooh, and we have access to fast inserters, so we might as well. We'll drop off some of this iron ore while I'm waiting for things to build. I can drop off this copper ore too. So, not that fast inserters are really needed here, but... And these are cheaper in terms of energy consumption, so sure. So we'll have that pulling out of this box. We'll have this pulling out of this box, and we'll have this inserter pulling directly out of this factory and putting it into this factory. Then all that we have to do is put some copper plate So, if we look at science packs, it'll tell you how much raw materials you need. So we need 2 iron and 1 copper plate for every one of these that we want to make. So if we put in 2 full stacks of iron and 1 full stack of copper, that'll be enough to make us 100 science packs right there. So if we power all of this up, everything will just start grabbing what it needs and producing. So that'll start chugging along. And that means that we can drop down our labs over here. Let's get some more power poles. I don't know how many I'm going to need. The thing about these is they once you get upgraded power poles, you never have a reason to build or use them ever again. So basically, the more I make, the more I end up wasting. But now that that is producing science packs, we can have some inserters automatically pulling out of the factory and into these labs. And so now, as long as I keep this topped up, red science is taken care of. I don't even need to think about it or worry about it. Which means that steel processing should finish up in a bit. That'll be neat. And then I think right now this doesn't actually produce enough red science to fuel more than 1 lab, so I might drop down. Steel processing is done. Let's do electronics now that it's automatic. So what I might do is set up a mirrored version of this production setup to produce for the other lab. Think I can operate on that diagonal? Let's find out. Let's make a new... right. I want to make a steel axe. I need to first get some steel, or some iron plate. Put some iron plate in a furnace, and that will turn it into steel at a rate of 1 steel for every 5 iron plate. I need 5 steel plate to make an axe, so this is going to need more. I think it'll need 25 total. That's 10 plus 15? Yeah, okay, I think that's the right amount right there. So we need something. Say that is making gears. And this... Okay, so the gears would need to be shifted down 1. Oh, if we have gears here, red science here, inserter. I think that's all we're gonna need. Oh, well, we'll need a couple more for the actual output into the lab. Where did I put that lab? There we go. Lab down there. Inserter pulling out there. Power pole. There we go. So now they are both producing, they're both pulling out to their respective labs. That is groovy. I don't think there will be any overflow at this stage. So, anyway, how's our steel doing? Is our steel done? We got 5. Great. Pull that up, and then with 5 steel, we can make a steel axe, which will enable us to chop down trees much faster. clear out this forest in the, kind of toward the northeast, I guess would be the right directions. Oh, no, not trying to mine, trying to chop trees. And then once we have some decent space cleared out, we can do a good, solid and actual mining operation. Mining, smelting, the whole 9 yards. It'll be good. Haven't decided whether or not I'm going to try for a huge build right at the beginning or not. There's a rock, which you also cannot build on, but there is a solution to the rock problem, and that is to shoot it with this terrible, terrible gun that I also plan on replacing as soon as I get the opportunity. Which, actually, now that we have automated science, I think the next thing I'll have it go for is the military upgrades, because that'll let me make the better guns for myself. Walking around. I like that after you fired your gun, he wanders around with his gun pointing at things for a while. And now he's normal running, and then if we shoot some trees, he'll run around with a gun. They do some good work on the sprites. Good work on the animation on the trees. I like the way they collapse into nothing when you successfully chop one down. You know, there's neat little stuff like that all over the place. Oh, a tiny, tiny scrap of stone over here. That's adorable. So there's kind of a corridor here with no trees. I'm wondering if that might not be a good basis for a smelting area. Although, well, yeah, actually, if I just clear out these trees, I would want to be kind of funneling everything over to the right and then smelting upward. So that'll save me some tree clearing too. That is done. Could also get some armor, but I want to definitely want to do military. Military and then armor. And then once we get the smelting up and going, that'll be causing a lot more pollution, so we'll need to do another perimeter check. Make sure we're all good on that front. So, that looks like a pretty reasonable amount of space. So, the basic setup for furnaces, as I know it, is going to need a lot more transport belt than that. Holy cow. So, you set up a transport belt, and then you have a furnace, and then some kind of place for the furnaces to output, which not quite correct. Let's get a couple of inserters going and actually go back and pick up some iron. I'm gonna need to be crafting a bunch of stuff in my pocket. Nope, that's the output chest. Need to drop into the input chest. And actually should check, see how this guy's doing. Pick up some armor. Oh, also not great. So I'll stop over and pick up some more coal for my personal supply. Should drop this wood off somewhere. Dang it, always putting it in the output chest. Okay, so we've got iron. We can't do gun turret upgrade just yet. Military 2 is what gets us better bullets, but I can't do that until I start doing green science. So let's go for automation number 2. And actually put some more iron in the science factory while we're at it. Another 2 stacks of iron, 1 stack of copper. Automation 2 will give us faster automation machines. Anyway, so this build, let's look at that. This is a pattern that I see a lot in Stejo's videos, which he probably saw some other place, but props to Stejo anyway. Basically, you put furnaces on either side with their materials going up, and I've seen it where you can do, you know, one for pure coal and one for pure ore. I've also seen it where you do just one belt with coal on one side of the belt and ore on the other side of the belt. I think I'll try to set up something like that here. Seems a little bit more efficient in terms of space. Yeah, and so then you just have an inserter pulling in to the furnace and then another inserter pulling back out of it. And then you just kind of make furnaces going all the way up from there, which I would do, but I've run out of stone. And that's not moving because the chest is full, because the chest is just a wooden chest. So I will upgrade it to an iron chest, and then pull out some stone for my own self, so I can make all these furnaces that I'm gonna need. So I've got 2 there, 3, 1, 2, 3. Make another 18. So I guess I'm going for the big build right away. Well, actually, okay. So I've got enough iron, okay, to make a bajillion. So let's go with half. We get another 3 miners, and 1 miner can support 2 furnaces at this stage. So I'll make an iron setup that does 10 furnaces. Then I'll make a copper setup that uses 10 furnaces. And the reasoning for spacing it out this way is 1, so you can place power poles in a nice, even arrangement. If you get close enough. There you go. So if you put it between every other set like that, it'll power all of the inserters that you need around each of these furnaces. It keeps things pretty even. But also, the highest level of furnaces are a 3x3 tile rather than a 2x2. So leaving an extra gap there gives you room to, you know, expand this out if you want to upgrade the furnaces at any point. So go up to here with that, and go up to here with that. Oh, I really should make some automated machines for belt production. You know what? I can set one of those up right here. Get myself another automation machine. And make just a nice little temporary installation that feeds directly off of one of these output boxes. And I can use this nice little wooden chest. That's convenient. So, assembly machine just here. Inserter there. Have this. Right. Can't do it directly off of there, I don't think. Because I would essentially need... Yeah, you actually need 2 assembly machines to make it work, because the inserters need... Or not the inserters, the transport belt needs iron gear wheels and iron plate. So we essentially need 1 machine producing gears and another one producing the actual transport belt once it gets the gears. So what I'll do is make a long-handed inserter as well. And then if you space these out just right with a chest in the middle, we can have long inserter going from one to the other, have this one making transport belt, this one making iron gear wheels, and then an inserter each. So feeding iron, feeding iron. So essentially I could do it if I wanted it to be shaped like that and have some inserter feeding directly from there to here, but let's limit the output just in case I go wildly overboard with something. And one of these, let's see, takes 3 iron. If I'm looking for 4 stacks... Oh, right, okay, that's not the one I want to limit. The one I want to limit is its input box. Or output box, rather, so... I have another box there, another inserter there. Limit this one to 4 stacks. And then this only holds... how much? 16. So... oh, research interruption. We're getting on to things that we're going to need green science for soon. Yep. Running out of things that are pure red. I could do bullet damage. That seems like we're mostly just stalling. So let's do armor crafting 2. That'll mean I can jump straight to heavy armor. Anyway, in this wooden chest, 1, 2, 3, 4, dump in as much iron as possible. That would fill up this box completely, but would also leave me without any iron. So I'll take half of it back and just leave it to make, you know, however much it wants of that belt. That way I can get back to placing it. And I'm going to need to make inserters too. Okay, so that'll go generally like that, but we're coming up on time for the up here, so get the primary pattern established, and then I'll fill in the details next time, so we should have some smelting up and running for iron and copper next time, but I will see you then.